And then as we make our way to our mat, like for me, sitting on this stack of pillows feels real good. Crisscross applesauce, lovely position, and I can kind of chill here and it feels nice. But sometimes the ankles might not like that because there is a little bit of a soft roll there. So it might feel a little bit better to just be like this, or it might feel a little bit better to just sit on the stack in that saddle position. So go for the one that feels really good to your body right now. Take a second to get that figured out and adjusted. And then once you feel like, okay, I'm in that nice comfortable seat, all is good, let your eyes close down for a second, let your shoulders soften down, let your hands reduce effort, let your fingers reduce effort. And then just for a moment, notice your breath coming in and out through your nose. If you can, just take one hand, find the sides of your ribs, get a good spread of your fingers, and then take a few nice big filling up breaths where you get that nice lateral lift coming up into the side of your rib cage. Big breath in. Slow breath out. And we're looking for movement of bony structure. So you really want to feel like you get that lifting upward sensation. Fill your rib cage up. And exhale through your nose as slow as you can. One more breath on this side. And then when you're ready, release, switch hands, grab hold of the other side of your rib cage, get that good spread of your fingers, and then come back to that big lift into the rib cage. Rib cage lifts into your hand, nice big expansive breath. One more nice big breath. All right, release your hands. Hands are going to stack on top of the heart. You're going to push in, push off to one side, doesn't matter which, because we're going to do both. And then add just a little nodding of the chin up and down. Slow motion movement. And then at that upper range, you'll feel that good little tension of stress as you hold your hands in that little tight position. Go for one more up and down. And then switch your smush. Push in, push over to the other side, hold that position, and then come back to your nodding of your chin up and down. One more nod up and down. And then bring your head back to a neutral. Release your hands, make your hands into light little fists and just little wrist circles. Start small and just kind of notice as you're doing, if we say wrist circles, notice what other parts kind of want to move or just sort of move naturally. So maybe it's a little bit of their forearm movement. Maybe it's a little bit of like just kind of a lifting upward movement of the elbows. And then if you can take it in reverse, go the other way, keep it natural. So it just feels like what shows up in your body when you do this movement. All right, now you're going to try to keep it a little bit more steady. So you're going to put elbow against the side of the body, hand is in a fist, and your other hand is going to just stack on top of the forearm just to kind of hold it in a steady position. And now you're just going to go up and down. So knuckles up and knuckles down. And now you look for a little extra feeling of stretch, especially in that knuckle down position. Nice. One more up and down with the knuckles, and then knuckles in a neutral position. Release your hand hold. swing in and out. So you're going to try to keep the elbow connected to the side of the body. For right now, palm is facing down, hand is still in that fist, and then look for that just end range of motion. Like for me, when I hit this point, I kind of want to like torque my whole body so I can get a little further, but we're not gonna try to do that. We're just looking for like, where is the stopping point? And there's no right or wrong. All right, take one more moment there. And then the next time you come in, flip palm facing up. Keep your hand in that fist. Rotate out. Excellent. Okay, next time you come in, flip so palm is facing inward, thumbs up, and then rotate out. One more rotation there, and then we're going to take it over to the other side. So elbow against the side of the ribs, hand in a fist, palm facing down. Stack your hand on top to hold the forearm in place, and then knuckles up, knuckles down. One more up and down, and then neutral fist. Release your hand and take it into that swing in and out. Keep the elbow connected, and we're just looking for end range of motion, and one side might be very different from the other. Lovely. One more in and out, and then the next time you come in, flip so that the palm is facing up, and then go back to your rotation. You go for one more in and out, and then the next time you come back in, go palm facing inward, thumb up, and then back to rotation. Go for one more in and out, and then we're going to go arms up into that mid Athena position. So that's that low pressure fitness maneuver, that hula hoop of the arms. So we shoot for fingertips roughly lined up to the outer edges of the ribs, and then we press a little energy out, good spread of the fingers. Now notice where your elbows have landed roughly in line with the shoulders. You're going to try to keep and maintain that height, and you're going to go flip fingertips out, flip fingertips in, and you're just going to take a couple of rotations there. And you want to keep a little energized out to the elbows, but don't roughly so. We try to keep them in that level position so they're staying in line with the shoulders. All right, now you're going to flip fingertips out, open your arms out nice and wide, extend the wrists, press out into your palms, get a little openness into your armpit chest, come back in nice and slow, flip, rotate, elbows stay level, fingertips point back into each other. Do it again. Rotate out, stretch out, extension of the wrist, feel that little stretch into the armpit chest area. Come back in nice and slow, flip, rotate back in. Now we're going to go one up, one down, but keep this sturdy frame. One arm's going to go up, one arm's going to go down. And I promise you, this is all like really hard work. So if you're like, oh, Jessica, I'm with you. Come back in nice and slow. And then we do it to the other side. One up, one down, a little energy pushing out. Come back in nice and slow. And now both arms are going to go up. So you're going to float both arms up, release to like a big high Y situation, thumb tucked to the palm, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. So your hand's in a loose little fist. Now roll your wrist down, roll your pinky fingers up, hold there, tuck your chin to your chest, and take a nice big breath. And this work here is all to like kind of stretch and move the nerve lines of the arms. So if you're feeling like there's that end of tension and you're like, whoo, 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 breathing, keep breathing nice and slow and deep. Take one more breath. All right, and then slowly lift your head, release pinky, ring, middle finger, index finger, thumb, and then float your arms down and give them a good shoot and a wiggle. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right, now we're going to release our legs just a little bit. So we want to get our back of our arm onto our calf of our knee. So sometimes we go here and we do shoulder rotation and we want it to be held a little bit up and it's just a touch point. For this one, we want to kind of get a little into it. So you want to let the weight of your arm rest into the calf of your knee, and it's going to trap. We've got this nice line of fascia back here, so it's just kind of holding it against the kneecap. and then take a little shoulder rotation. And how far the rotation goes, don't worry about it being perfect. Just want to feel like it's kind of pushing the muscle of your arm into your kneecap. All right, now you're going to come into this down position. You're going to hang there, and then you're going to let the tricep kind of push into the calf of the knee. So it kind of pulls it into that little tug position, and then stay there and go for like a light bicep curl maneuver. Awesome. One more moment there. And then take a second release, give a little shake and a wiggle, and then we're going to take the work to the other side. So adjust your seat so it feels comfortable. Get the back of your arm onto your calf of your knee. Make sure that feels pretty good. A little bit of the weight of your body into it, and then come into your rotations. When I hit certain rotation points, I can feel my muscle kind of like ribble and roll across, and we kind of want that. We want to just kind of get a little bit of smushiness into the muscle, into the fascia, into the connective tissue. All right, now the next time you're in that down position, let the arm kind of sink in so it tugs that skin up just a touch and hold that little bit of tension. And now take your bicep curl maneuver. Beautiful. One more moment there. And then when you're ready, take a second release, give a little shake, a little shoop, a little wiggle. Now we're coming down onto our back. We're going to take double stack of pillows. We're going to go into belly stretch. So again, we don't no smooth transitions today. We're just going to one place, get there, stay there for a little bit, go to a new place, get there, stay there for a little bit. So as you come off of your stack of pillows, I say double stack of pillows, put them off to one side, because when we go belly stretch, we go knees are bent, big toes together, knees together, and then we drop our knees over to the stack of pillows. And all we want to feel like is there's this little tug across the front line of the abdomen, a little tug across the skin of your belly. I'm going to get up and move closer to the screen for anybody who wasn't here the other day when we did those little diaphragm pulls. So we take our hands and we push into the tissue, like say, here's my belly button, here's the top end of my rib cage. We stay in that solar plexus area, and we just go anywhere you want to, and you just push and gently drag out. And it's meant to soothe and relax the solar plexus and all those little wandering nerves of the vagus nerve coming down all through the belly line. So it's meant to be sort of a soft, soothing maneuver. So you're in your belly stretch. Your knees are dropped over to your stack of pillows, and then your hands are just manipulating that solar plexus area underneath the rib cage, above the belly button, anywhere that you want to go. You can walk over to the left, walk over to the right, and we push in, fingers are together, and we just gently pull them away from each other. And then as you do these little pulling maneuvers, now, of course, if you've got anything going on with your tummy and it's tender and it doesn't feel good to do touch points, leave it off. But if it feels nice, you just want to start to notice, can you invite or encourage a little extra softness all into the abdomen? Abdominal muscles reduce work, slow and steady breath. And then once you've done just enough pulls so it feels good, let your arms open into a nice wide T position and take 3 slow, deep, intentional breaths. On your next in breath, lift your knees up back to that center neutral position. And now we're just going to take our stack of pillows and we're going to pass it over to the other side. So no smooth transitions today. We just go to a place, get there, move your stack, do it on the other side. So feet together, knees together, drop your knees over onto your stack of pillows. And then once you've got that held in a nice position, then we come back to that solar plexus release. So we put fingers into the soft tissue somewhere underneath the rib cage and above the belly button, and we push in and gently drag out. And you can go left and right all across the whole solar plexus. And then as you go along there, you want to encourage a soft, gentle breath and a reduction of effort in your abdominal muscles. And then once you've done just enough of that play with the solar plexus, when you feel ready for it, let your arms fall open into that T position and then take a few slow, deep breaths. One more nice big breath. And then on your next inhale, let your knees float away from the pillows coming through center. Now you're just going to take one pillow from your stack and pass it back over to the other side. So now we're going to come into a butterfly position, but we want to get those pillows nice and wedged into your side so that your legs can fall open into that butterfly and they feel nicely held up, nicely supported. Little effort as possible in the butterfly legs. Once you've got your butterfly legs, now we're going to do a diaphragm release. So now we're going to let the fingers start to walk. We're going to do a little bit on the right side, a little bit on the left side, and then we'll hold the position and take a few slow breaths. So you're going to start by just locating the curve of the ribs on the right side. So you're going to find like that center point, there's your zygote process, and then you're just going to start to walk down that right curve of the ribs, all the way down as far as you can go, and then walk it back up. And at first, we're just looking for a little bit of slack. Like, is it really firm? Is it really tight? Or does it feel like if you push in and under the bony structure of the ribs, the skin and the connective tissue kind of go along for the ride and everything can be a little bit loose? So you're just looking for what shows up first. And then as you walk around, you're going to see, is there any place that feels really nice and loose? How far can you get your fingers to float under any of the really nice and loose places? And then are there any places that feel a little bit more tight? For me, it's right up towards that zygote process area. Then you're going to see if you can press into that. And if you press, can you still get a little slack to come under the ribs? And then you're going to find your favorite spot. A little loose, a little tight, find your favorite spot. Push your fingers in and under the ribs as far as they'll go comfortably. Hold that spot and take a nice big rib cage filling breath. See if you can come back to that idea of that lateral lift of the rib cage. And then what you're looking to notice here is, does your diaphragm want to kind of push your fingers out as you take that inward breath where the diaphragm moves down? Or can you kind of breathe against that little bit of tension, and then the exhale takes you just a little bit further and a little bit softer? So there's no right or wrong, we just notice. And then once you've had just enough of that breathing on the right side, take it over to the left. Start to just locate the ribs on the left side. Walk your fingers up and down that curve of the ribs. How far down can you find the curve? How far up can you find the curve? And then up into that zygote process, notice it. Start to notice, is it soft and loose on this side? Because we're not symmetrical. So one side might feel tense in comparison to the other. And then you might even notice that sometimes that similar tightness, tension, looseness, tension balance also shows up in the pelvic floor diaphragm. All right, so we're walking around, we're seeing what shows up. And then you're looking, is there any places that feel loose that you can get a real nice slip of the fingers underneath the ribs? Are there any places that are a little bit tight or tense where it feels like you got to put a little effort into getting the fingers under the ribs? And then see if you can just find your favorite spot, whether it's the loose part, whether it's the tense part. Put your fingers in and under just as far as they'll comfortably go, and see if you can take a nice big breath. And then what we look for there is, as you take that nice big breath, does the diaphragm want to push your fingers out, or can you hold a steady position and feel that little bit of movement of the diaphragm underneath your fingers? Awesome. Take one more breath, holding and releasing that diaphragm. And then when you're ready, release your hands, and heels of the hands do the locomotion on the sides of the ribs. You're just going to kind of wiggle the skin and connective tissue just to invite a little bit of that softness back in, and that just a little bit of loving motion into that skin and connective tissue. And then once you've given that little bit of love, let your arms fall out for just a second. We're going to come back around and we'll do one diaphragm vacuum here. So for a moment, just let everything soften. Let your heart soften. Let your rib cage soften. Let your abdomen soften. Let your inner thighs soften. Let your feet soften. And then just take a moment to do a slight inventory of your head and your neck. If it feels like your head's in that slightly lifted position and you're looking up towards the corner of the ceiling, see if you can roll the ball of your head just a touch. So you put a little bit more length into the back of your neck and your eyes get fixed on the ceiling above you. And then once you've got your head adjusted, arms are going to stay out in that mid-Venus position. So Venus, we just go arms nice and wide, spread the fingers. So go out and then get a little spread of the fingers, get that nice length into the back of your neck. Soft abdominal muscles. So we're going to keep our belly muscles as soft as we possibly can here. You're going to take a nice big rib cage filling breath. Breathe as if you're trying to breathe front to back to feel the back of your rib cage kind of work against the ground behind you. Exhale through your nose as slow as you can. All right, now think lateral rib cage breath. Take a nice big in breath, fill up the sides of your ribs. Exhale as slow as you can. One more breath just to feel the rib cage movement. Now think big 360 breath, front to back, side to side, expand the ribs in all directions. Exhale through your nose as slow as you can. Now put a little energy into your arms, spread into your fingers, and a little energy into your palms and your fingers with that hand spread. Take a big 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. And then as you exhale, you'll be a slow exhale. You'll prepare, swallow, close off nose, mouth, and throat, or pinch your nose closed, keep your mouth closed. You're going to take a fake inhalation, holding breath. You're going to catch that inhalation and let the diaphragm suction up. Let the ribs lift, open, and expand, and hold your breath for a moment. And then when you're ready, like you're breaking the seal of the ball jar, let the breath come back in nice and slow. Take a second, let everything be nice and soft and loose. And now we're going to slowly start to lift the legs up and come together. And you're going to float them up, think Apanasana, knees to chest, but without your hands holding on. Your arms are going to stay out in that wide position, and you're going to go a little revolving twist. You're going to let your knees start to find a little side-to-side rotational movement. And then you might choose to just kind of adjust your pillows, squish them in just a little bit further, as if when you take this little revolving twist maneuver, you're almost looking for your sides of your thighs or your sides of your butt to touch the pillows. And then once you've got this little revolving twist maneuver going on, now add head turn in opposite direction of your knees. So when your knees go to the right, head turns to the left, and when your knees go to the left, your head turns to the right. take one or two more revolving twists from side to side. And then when you're ready, you're going to do that nice organized get up. So you're going to go, let's say left leg or right leg, doesn't matter which, but you're going to hold on to your knee or back of your thigh. And you're going to push with a little bit of a strong intention. You're going to push your thigh into your hand, and you're going to use your exhalation and the strength of your leg to help you come up in a nice, easy, organized way. And now we're going to go pillows long ways, one and one just in line with the other. Again, no smooth transitions. We're just getting into a new place. So you're going to take your pillows and you're going to line them up so that we're going to come down onto our belly. So you're going to get your pillows lined up in a nice long line, and then you're going to come down onto it. And you want, just if you can arrange it, chin coming over the edge of your pillows. And then once you've got your way there, think like a little preparatory cobra position. So we want our toes, you can go toes in dorsiflex position if that feels comfortable to your feet, or you can go feet in sort of toenails down, shoelaces down. Pick a position for your feet so that they feel good. Once you've got your way there, we're going to go chin over the edge of the pillows. And I'm going to just try to be mindful that my mic doesn't cut us out. So little baby cobras to start, just to feel into your back. Inhale, just a tiniest little lift of your heart, look forward. And then exhale, slow, lower back down, chin touches the pillows. Inhale, lifting up just a little. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, lift up just a little. Exhale to soften down. Nice. Now you're going to think half locust legs. So you're going to point your right toes and you're going to reach your toes away from you. And you're just going to lift your right leg up as far as it goes comfortably. It's going to work into your back muscles a little bit. And then reach your toe away from you. Lengthen as you lower it down. Switch sides. Reach your left toes away from you like somebody's grabbed you and pulled you by your toes. So they lengthen your leg away from you as you lift it up. And it doesn't matter how high you go. Think more the lengthening is important. The lift is secondary. Lengthen as you lower your leg back down. Come back to that right leg. Point your toes. Pull the toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen as you lower back down. Back over to the left. Pull your toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift up. Pull the toes away from you. Lengthen, lower down. One more each side. Pull those right toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen as you lower down. Switch sides. Pull the left toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift up. Lengthen as you lower down. Now we're going to go back extension. So put your feet in a comfortable enough position. Arms are going to come out T position. As you inhale, you're just going to lift up the arms, lift up your chest, lift up your chin, hold for a moment, and then lower nice and slow. Now go A arm position. Arms go a little bit lower. Reach your hands back like you're trying to reach your fingers towards your heels. Hold for just a moment, and then slow lower back down. Go back to T position. Arms come out nice and wide. Lift up. Hold for just a moment. Lower nice and slow. Reach your hands back to A position. Reach your fingers toward your heels. Lift up just a little. Lower nice and slow. Arms come back to T position. Lift up. Lower nice and slow. Arms go back to that A position. Lower down. Lift up. Lower nice and slow. One more time through. Arms come to T position. Lift up. Lower nice and slow. Back to A position. Lift up. Hold steady for just a moment. And then hands come back in. Think cobra setup a little bit alongside the shoulders. 3 more little baby cobras. Use your arms to help lift up just a touch. And then exhale, soften back down. Inhale, lift up just a touch. Exhale, soften down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up just a touch. Exhale, soften down. All right, now we're going to push our way up and back so that we can come to extended child's pose position. But for everybody's pillow propping for extended child's pose position, it might look a little bit different. So for some of us, it's best to just go big old stack of pillows, butt back, so it keeps a bunch of space between the legs. For some of us, it's better to cushion the shoelaces a little bit, and cushion the front of the body a little bit. So you're going to get your pillows just so the way that you like them to be, whether it's cushion your shoelaces, get your knees nice and wide, cushion the space between your thighs, get it nice and wide. Go anywhere that it feels good. Possibly just pillows out in front of you. Go for the stack that feels really good today, and then give yourself a second to get there. Let everything work its little wiggles out. So we did all those back extensions, and now we just want a little counter stretch. So that slight bit of flexion in the spine and a few slow, deep, intentional breaths. The beauty of child's pose position is sometimes it does close off the front of the body, so you can feel that movement of breath a little bit further into the back body. So it can be a nice place to get that sense of feedback. So see if you can just kind of notice your shoulder blades, notice the back of your rib cage, notice where you think the bony prominences of your spine are, and see if you can just breathe as if you're trying to feel the bones in your back. Now, depending on how you set yourself up, a little tadpole in between would feel good. Tadpole being like a child's pose position, but we walk off into a little lateral stretch. If it feels nice, maybe walk your hands over and off to one side so you get that little feeling of side body stretch, and then soften what you can, take a few slow breaths. And then if you took it off to one side, maybe slowly move it through center, go over to the other side, pause there for a moment, take a few slow breaths. Nice. And then if you walked off to one side, maybe take a minute just to come back to center, find that little center neutral, and take 3 more slow, deep breaths. On your next inhale, when you're ready, slowly, 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 you start to lift yourself up. And then I'll say, here's the point where we just going to reposition our stack of pillows and all the good stuff. So you're going to put your pillows out in front of you. Pillows are going to either come into a sort of elevated, soft legs up the wall situation, or a good hold underneath the bend of our knees. And then we want the roll of blanket to come so that it comes across that upper back. So you want to think roughly lining it up so that it comes right across and underneath your armpits. And then you open your arms out nice and wide. So that's the setup for the blanket. And then you'll take your pillows. For some of us, it's nice to go that long stack so you get that like soft legs up the wall variation. And then for some of us, it's just a little bit nicer to have that bent knee position. So I say go for the one, pick one. If it doesn't work, pick the other. Find the shape that feels just right. And then see where you land. See if you can open up your heart, open up your armpits, adjust your back so it feels comfortable. Maybe reposition some props so that's underneath your back. Anything that would feel good. And possibly one underneath your head. You're going to go for what helps you feel open through the heart, open through your armpits and your arms, but you're not tensing up anywhere else and you're not requiring too much effort. Can you soften your abdominal muscles? Can you soften your feet and your legs? And then if anybody brought their eye pillow to their mat, now's the time. Put it on, take your glasses off, put them somewhere safe, eye pillows on, and then it just helps close off and reduce incoming sensation. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Circle your wrists and move your ankles. And then when you feel that next deep breath come into your body, stay in your position that you're at, but we're going to press out into your arms. I want you to think wrists and extensions as if you're trying to stop a car, right? You're going to go wrist and extension so their fingertips are up, but you're going to push your palms out and away from you. Spread your fingers and think yawning stretch. So you're going to inhale and pandiculate and push through your palms, spread your fingers, and then for some of us, it's a nervy spot, so it's going to feel lightly intense. Push and hold that push for just a moment. Take that last in-breath to get that expansion. Let your exhale soften. You soften your fingers and then take your arms and stretch them up above your head. Now think big good morning stretch with that upper body. Reach and spread your fingers. Take an inhale, get that yawning, reaching stretch. And then as you exhale, soften, hands are going to come alongside your hips. And then you're going to think light, littlest baby curl up. You're going to use your hands and touch your thighs and curl up just a touch, as if you're just trying to see what's going on. How's your knees? How's your pillows? And then you're going to lean just slightly back over that over the roll of blanket. And then do it again on your next exhale. Just the lightest little baby curl up. Look at your knees. And then inhale, lower back down. And then this time we're going to just go with a little bit more oomph. So you're going to find that little exhalation to come up, and now firm up your belly. Pull on your thighs, bring yourself up in a nice organized way. And then it's just the softest, gentlest fold. Fold just enough so you feel a lightest little stretch into your low back, and take a nice big breath. And then you might choose to just come up just a little bit so you're in that more upright spine. You might choose to flip around, adjust your pillows, Sukhasana, sit any way that feels good so you can just come a little bit more alert in your spine and a little bit more aware of your physical body and your energy level now. So find that comfortable seated position. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, or one hand to your solar plexus, one hand to your heart. And then once you've got a nice little touch point to your body, let your eyes close down for a moment. Take a nice big rib cage filling breath. Exhale, soft shoulders, soft armpits, soft jaw. Inhale, breathe a bunch of love and gratitude towards yourself, for your mind, for your body, for all of your hard work. And then a soft exhale, soft jaw, soft armpits, soft space between your eyes. And then one last big breath to fill up with some good positive intentions for the rest of your morning. And then a big letting go exhale, just to let go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you for the next few minutes of your morning. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I got you. You guys are amazing. Happy soft Saturday.